Hello, cuisines of the world. Welcome to week one. Happy New Year. Oh my God, it's your last 12 weeks. Are you ready? Oh my goodness, we missed you all. Chef Sophia, give a big hello.
Hello, everyone. Glad to have you back. I hope you guys got nice and fat in baking and pastry, because I wasn't in baking and pastry, but I still got nice and fat during the holidays. So I'm glad to have you back. I'm your mentor for this class.
Excellent. Thank you. And I hope you guys are ready for the ride. We're ready for the ride. So you guys are in Cuisines of the World, and your life, as you know it, is now dramatically changing. Your life is now about research with some production. That's what the next 12 weeks is going to be about. You guys researching and production, and ultimately exploding your brain so that they expand and take in and absorb a whole bunch more. Are you guys ready? Yeah, get a thumbs up. Right on. All right. So this first 6 weeks, you guys are going to be traveling around the world. And what we will do, the way this class will work, is that I will talk you through the 6 weeks. I will then focus on weeks 1 and 2 and what our expectations are of you. And I will show you your resources and also give you some examples of what we are looking for and what not to do. All right, so here we go. Let's start sharing it. The whole idea of Cuisines of the World is to give you an opportunity how to research a cuisine you know nothing about. And also give you a chance to practice the cooking techniques that you've learned in 102, 121, and 141, and really start understanding that there are no differences in this entire cuisine. There are only 2 cooking techniques that you guys do not know. Otherwise, you have learned every cooking technique that there is. What do you guys think about that? Just so you know, I won't move forward until we get answers. What do you think about that you know all the cooking techniques but 2?
What's the 2 that we don't know, Chef?
What do you think? Why is that awesome? Okay, here's a hint on what your next 12 weeks are going to be like. All I do is ask questions.
Is it the sous vide method, Chef?
It's not. It's not the sous vide. But I'm so happy you gave it a shot. Hey, can you guys name your cooking techniques from 121? What was week 1 and 2?
Your best friend.
We did frying.
That was week 3 and 4, deep and shallow, outstanding.
Saute.
That's right. Week 1 and 2 was saute. Yay. Week 3 and 4 was frying, deep and shallow. What was week 5 before you had your midterm?
Wasn't it deep fry?
That was week 3 and 4.
Poach.
Yes, poaching and steaming. Very good. Week 7 and 8, the most flavorful cuisine, cooking technique? Long, slow, braising. Yay, Amanda. Good job. And then 9 and 10, I shoved the whole thing into the oven. You guys just spent 12 weeks looking at one aspect of it. roasting and
Baking.
baking. Yay! And then week 11, which we didn't have long enough before you went into your braising final. What did you guys do? Very popular in Australia. I'm going to throw another one onto the, let me throw another shrimp on the
Barbecue.
Grill.
grill, right? Grill. Outstanding. Another shrimp on the Barbie. Good job. So we did grilling in week 11. So I'm going to tell you guys, plus the things that you learned in 102, such as boiling, heating, doing basic cooking techniques that way, as well as every technique you learned in baking and pastry, the creaming method, the genoise, all those different methods. They're used throughout the entire world. But two. One, arguably, either comes from Mexico or Peru. Just so you know, Chef is adamant that it's Mexico. And my friend Carlos is adamant it's from Peru. Anybody want to take a guess what that is?
I want to say like, I don't know, like wood burn or tortilla making or something like that, Chef. I don't know.
Not quite. Chef's spelling it out for you guys. Ceviche. Anybody know what ceviche is? And it's okay.
Yes, cooking it raw with lemon and acids and things like that.
Right, with lemon or lime juice. Outstanding. Amanda's going to fight that it's from Peru, Chef Sophia. So, but this concept of cooking in an acid is not like anything you guys have learned, but it's a wonderful technique. The other cooking technique, I don't expect you guys to know, but it is a type of braising. It's known as Chinese red braising. And what they do is they caramelized sugar, add vinegar, and then they'll saute and then braise the meat in that. And they will typically add some red food coloring as well to give it that bright red look as well. But it's that caramelizing of the sugar and then cooking the food in that and vinegar. So you guys, as you go through cuisines of the world, you already know the cooking techniques. How does that make you guys feel tackling cuisines you've never studied before?
Well, actually, it makes me more prepared. Because, before I had to take my leave of absence, I did a ceviche with shrimp and tilapia with the black-eyed pea fritters from Brazil when I picked it. So I let my family taste it, and they loved it, Chef.
That's good. That's outstanding, Brandy. Who else? How do you feel about knowing that you know almost everything already?
I feel great about it, Chef. I was in the military. I've been all over the world, in Europe and in the Asias and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it.
Perfect. Good. All right. Anybody else? Anybody have any qualms? Anything that are like, oh my goodness. Everybody's a little pirate, a little adventurer, ready to take on the world.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm multicultural, so Indian, Hispanic, Peru, I don't care where we're going. I know how to make it. Jamaica.
I love it. Perfect.
Right.
Guys, so you guys are going to do 3 different zones. This block is broken up into 3 different zones. Week 1 and 2, you will choose a cuisine or a chef in the Americas to study. Week 3 and 4, you will choose a cuisine or chef in Europe or Africa. 5 and 6, you will choose a cuisine on the the Asian side of the Pacific Rim. We have included Hawaii in that one. So let's take a look at the course, see how it's broken up. Has everybody watched the intro video?
Yes, ma'am.
Great, you can get in, you can start choosing. All right. If you can't see anything, you gotta watch the intro video. Here we go. So you guys have two things right here that you can look at. Although I prefer that you sort of pay attention to mine as opposed to Mark's. We're going to get rid of that one. This gives you an example on how to do what I call the passport. Your passport is basically your research and putting it all together. Chef, do I have to make it look like a slideshow? No. You can do a Word document. Personally, I find a slideshow, because I like visuals, it works. It gets the information that I need. However, if you'd rather do a Word doc, do it. Chef Sophia.
I personally like the PowerPoint presentation too, but if you do the Word doc, I'm going to be grading your assignments. I am very good at catching copy pasting, which I don't want. I can Google it myself and find it and read what you guys have learned from your research, what you liked best and what you haven't liked from it. I don't want to go copy paste from all the web pages that you found.
Very good. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you, I made this mistake on purpose because I want you to understand that when you guys research, have a blank piece of paper, and every time you click on a link, write on that piece of paper what it is and copy and paste that link onto that paper. Because plagiarism, Chef and I will give you one chance to plagiarize, and we will talk to you. The second time, it becomes a code of conduct warning. The third time, you get removed from the school, never to be asked back again. Sorry to come down so hard, but I want to make sure you guys understand how important it is to give credit to the other people's work. You would want that respect. Give other people that respect. So I'm going to show you what I did and why it's wrong. Okay, so if you get over here and you click on this document here, you'll come up and you'll look at my Basque region. Now we get over here, you'll notice it's broken down. You have a narrative with a certain selection of questions that I want you to answer. And then I get over here. And I'm kind of looking, oh wow, well what's going on here? Interesting. So here we go. I just simply copied and pasted that. What should I have done as well?
You should have put who wrote it.
Yep, exactly. And it could be something like this. 1, and then down here, 1 equals Wikipedia, and there's the link to the page. Blah, blah, blah. Exactly. That's what you should do. So you're looking at things as you guys are doing your research, and there's a lot of interesting things, and there's a lot of ways you could go at this. You don't have to look at what they are growing or producing. I find it helpful because it gives you an idea what kind of work they do in their area. You might have influences from other cultures. All right. This is a class about food. Hello. This is a class about food. So what I want you guys to look at is if there are chilies in that cuisine, who brought those chilies and why? If there's something going on with that cuisine that means there are people who brought food with them to influence that cuisine. I don't want, okay, in 35 BC, the Romans invaded Carthaginian, and then for the next 450 years, they went back and forth with a bunch of politics and wars and trade, and then all of a sudden, all the Jews were removed from Carthaginian. So what I'm trying to say to you guys is, don't bore yourself with history. Find out about the food, and maybe people brought it. So here's the idea. Romans were in Carthaginian in 35 BC. Oh, what kind of food did the ancient Romans eat? And then that's the tangent you take. Google ancient Roman food. And then you'll start seeing what's going on. Oh, did you guys know that the Arabs occupied Spain for 700 years? Do you think they influenced food?
Well, yes, Chef, all cultures that have gone anywhere for any amount of time have influenced cuisine from anywhere they've been, and, you know, combined it with their cultures.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Matter of fact, the Arabs who occupied Spain, they're known as Moors, Moors. Who occupied Mexico, guys? Because we're in the Americas. Who occupied Mexico?
Was it Spain?
Yep, Spaniards occupied Mexico.
Happens.
So here we go.
Like
I want you guys to sort of look at the progression. If the Moors were in Spain for 700 years, do you think they influenced Mexican cuisine? So you start looking things up. You start sort of recognizing what the pattern is. All right, so Google's your friend. Have a Word document up. You see something you like, type in the word, to give you a hint, and then copy and paste that link. That's going to help you out. Here you go. So you guys are looking at influences. So here I'm doing Basque and the influences and maybe what's happening. Doesn't have to be a lot, but enough to give us an idea of what's going on. Chef would get on me right now and she'd say, hey, I think it's awesome that you noticed that the Jews that were expelled from Spain and Portugal and influenced their pastry and chocolate. How? Don't be too general. Mine's awfully general. Dig down just a little bit more. This can be as long as it needs to be. Here we go. Flavors and ingredients of Basque. So these are, you guys know what ingredients are. Look them up. What do people use in their food typically? Is it pork fat? Is it chickens, flour, corn, beans, whatever it is? And just type them down. These are just ingredients. And then you get over here, and then you can write down typical dishes of that culture, that if people went to visit, this is what they would find. Add photos. I like photos. And then table manners, etiquette. Oh my goodness. This is a big deal. Who here has ever visited the Middle East? Excellent. James, what's the gig with the hands, man?
Yeah, you don't use them. Their hand gestures are very rude over there.
Right, but what one hand you can eat with, but the other
Oh,
hand
yes.
you can't.
Do not use your left hand for anything.
Right,
It
because
is very rude because of their culture for certain types of punishments that they get with their right hand, and the left hand's used for
cleaning.
cleaning.
Okay, so what if you're handed and use their left hand instead of the right hand? They have to learn to use the right
Trained
hand.
to use your right hand.
At all times, because if you get in trouble, they'll cut that hand off for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys get on Google and you'll type in, let's say you're doing Japan, food etiquette of Japan. That's all you have to Google. And then you're going to get all this stuff to go and sort through and see. So you can, for the Basques, they never eat alone. If you are seen eating alone in the Basque country, people will come over and sit down with you. Even if you say, no, I don't want anyone by me, they will still sit down and eat with you. It's just their culture.
It's friendly.
What? It's friendly, yes.
It's friendly.
So these are things that you can look at. Now, food festivals, all right. Every culture has a festival that focuses on food. Butter, seafood, tapas, whatever it is. Find what that festival is, because it's part of who they are. It's part of who they are. One of the things, like if I say Germany to you guys, what are the two festivals that come to mind?
Beer Fest.
One's Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
And there's a Village Pig Fest.
Oh, I love that, but that's not actually where I was going for. I was going for Christmas. For some cultures, food and
Bratwurst.
Christmas
Sorry.
go hand in hand. All right. Yep, there we go. Let's go. Here we go. Now, some of you might say, Chef, I don't want to study cuisine. I want to study a chef instead. And that's perfectly fine. We will let you guys do that. For you guys who are looking at, whatever cuisine, every chef, every cuisine has a chef that represents it. Look them up. Find out who they are. They are actually taking what could be a peasant cuisine and they're elevating it up to high art. So you could look them up, and then you could look at their plating designs. By the way, this is all your week 1, 3, and 5. This is what you're giving us. Then you guys are going to give us both menus that you want to produce. Both menus. In week 1, I give you guys a choice. You can do breakfast or street food. Yes, you do a production every week. You are making food every week. Breakfast is fascinating in other cultures, guys. Do not assume that it's American food. It is really interesting, but so is street food. And then you guys, you have to show us your menu for week 2. Because Chef Sophia might look at it. Chef Sophia, look at this menu. What would you tell me to do?
Less things.
Yep, I just went overboard. I'm making too much. Now, we're asking you guys to do 2 to 4 plates of everything. But we don't need you to do a ton of work unless you want to. So your week 1 is all this research. Plus, you're going to make street food or breakfast. Your week 2, or the even weeks, you're doing a very modified narrative, a very modified production sheet. I'll show you about that in a second. And then you're cooking your dinner. We're asking for 2 to 4 plates so that we can help you with plating consistency. Anybody have any idea why we want you to work on plating consistency?
To make sure it's even amount for everybody and it's not I mean, I wouldn't want to order the same thing as my wife and she gets either more than me or less than me.
Absolutely. You took the words right out of my mouth, James. I don't want you ever to experience the thing I experienced a year ago, New Year's Eve. Food was late, right? Oh my God, it was so late. And one table, they were selling salads with this much salad on it. But they started running out of salad. So the table next to it got a salad this big. What do you think that table that got a salad this big, looked over, saw the salad at the other table, what do you think their response was?
They were very upset.
You took the words right out of my mouth. The guy actually started yelling at his server.
Which I think is a little messed up because it's not the server's fault.
I know. I agree. I agree. He started making a scene in the middle of the restaurant. Now, the guy with the big salad was like this, look, I'll share. Because he was trying to cut the tension, but that guy wouldn't put up with it. We had to buy his entire family's meal. Table of 4, 2 bottles of wine. How much do you think that bill came to? How much do you think we ate?
Probably $200 worth.
$350. That's why consistency is important. If those salads were all the same size, same look, how much money did I actually lose? That's why we want you to have consistency. So 2 to 4 plates. Hey, chef, I'm the only person in my household. I don't even want to make 2 plates. Chef and I will allow you to do tasting portions. A tasting is 1 or 2 bites. This consistency in plating is so important. You've got to find a way to make sure you do it. So if there's only one of you, little bite-sized tapas, you could do an entire tapas menu, right? Couple of bites. That with either one, whether it's even or odd weeks. For dinner, this is all we expect. It's changed a little bit per Chef Graham, Sophia, so here we go. All we want from you guys is this. Minimally, dinner with appropriate accompaniments. You define what that is. Maybe you're doing fish veracruzana. What would you serve with fish veracruzana, Chef Sophia?
Arroz, rice.
Rice. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Or you could be like one of our students who did appetizer, salad, dinner with a couple of sides, bread, dessert, a drink. But minimally, what we want from you is dinner with appropriate accompaniments. I would encourage you to also include a drink in that. Wine, coffee, sparkling water, lemonade, milkshake. You can't afford a bottle of wine? Go to the wine shop and ask if you could take a picture of a bottle of wine that would go with your menu. Any questions on production?
Yeah. So it's like for the first 2 weeks, like say if I pick Jamaica, I would have to get a breakfast and a dinner for that Jamaican style.
Yeah, so you would do a Jamaican breakfast for week 1, and you would do a Jamaican dinner for week 2.
And remember, guys, in big countries, go specific in the country because it's impossible to do Mexico. You have to go more specific into what region of Mexico. Because imagine if, let's go to something familiar. If I say, I want to cook United States, it's way too much information. So you have to go specific to a certain region of those countries.
So we'll get to that in a second. Hold your thought there, Chef. Let me finish this part. Once you've got this, you'll get feedback from Chef. Then right here, this is your production sheet. It's actually a prep sheet, guys. We are now focusing on efficiency. All we want is how you are managing your time. Boom, boom, boom. What do I need to do? That's it. That's it. This is, by the way, week 1. In week 2, you could present this same one with the addition of the week 2 narrative and your week 2 production sheet. Keep it simple, to the point. You are trying to tell yourself, what do I need to do first, second, and third? We're not asking you to open cupboard, pull out pants. No. Focus on what it is you've got to do to get that cake onto the table. And then here you go. Here's all my research citations, where I got all my information from. I have some books too. I don't expect to see books. If you have them, good. Mostly we're expecting internet. So make sure you guys understand. Week 1 and 2, you're focusing on somewhere in the Americas. As Chef Sophia said, please do not choose the United States. Please don't choose Mexico. There's too much. How much research do you think is going to occur if I choose the United States? How many of you vomited because of the amount of research would come up? Yeah, right? Exactly. Look, shoot Chef Sophia or me if you're confused and you're saying, gee, I don't know what to do. And let's say Joetta says, I want to do the South. What do you guys think? South too big? Why is the South too big?
There's a lot of southern states.
There's a lot of southern states, right? And do they all have the same cuisine? I mean, come on. I can go to NOLA and Nashville. They got the same cuisine, right?
Mac and cheese.
No, they don't have the same cuisine. So we would probably say, let's encourage. What do you like? Do you like seafood? Okay, you could choose Low Country or you could choose Creole. All right. Oh, you like barbecue? Oh my God, we could have you focus on barbecue. You like bourbon? Let's look at the cuisine of Kentucky. So if you have any questions, guys, let's help you. Reach out to Chef Sophia or me and we'll help you. Or reduce it down. Because who has started researching?
I did a little bit of what I wanted to cook, but I've noticed that I want to make like authentic street tacos.
Cool.
It's one of my favorite cuisines, but that stretches over all of Mexico, not just Argentina or Chile or. So I mean, it's kind of hard to determine which way to go.
Well, we're gonna be. Go ahead, Chef.
I can tell you my favorite street tacos, and they're called al pastor, and they were invented in Mexico City. And in Mexico City, you have a wide range of different street tacos. So I would do specifically Mexico City area. if you're interested in street tacos.
I appreciate that, Chef.
And Mexico City has a lot of great stuff going on. Oh, yeah. All right. Yes, Joetta.
So so I picked Jamaica. So we would pick a specific city in Jamaica to.
No, Jamaican food is fine.
Okay.
We're talking about major cuisine countries. Mexico, that has 32 states, 27 states, I can't remember.
32.
32 states. Each state is known for a specific style of cuisine. If you look at the United States, it can be broken up easily into 8 different cuisines, possibly 12.
Most of the Caribbean islands have the same cuisine throughout the entire island because they're not that big.
Yeah.
If one of y'all make jerk chicken, y'all can go ahead and just send it to me.
Yes, amen. Amen. If you want to have an argument, reach out to Chef Graham and tell him that dry jerk is the best. Just say it.
or send a message to Chef Luke and say that chili has beans in it.
Yep, good chili. You have to say.
Isn't he a barbecue fame too?
Oh, barbecue thing, yes. Oh, and Florine from Alabama and me in Mississippi, we can fight the whole day about barbecue. Or Memphis and Mississippi, or Texas and Alabama.
Yep, and that's the fun of this. That's the fun of this. Cool. All right, so let's make sure you guys understand. You guys, week 1 and 2, they repeat again in 3 and 4, and repeat again in 5 and 6. Make sure you guys understand that. With that said, week 1 is always your research heavy week, and that's why you do something simple like a breakfast or street food. Week 2, or the even weeks, are always your dinner production. Yes, Chef?
Each with its own narrative.
Each with its own narrative. Yes, thank you. Let's get over here, make sure you guys know what's going on a little bit more. This first 2 weeks, you guys are learning. You're figuring it out. There we go. So you'll notice you've got, if you go over here, boom, 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 you've got my welcome video, and then you've got a Cook's Guide to World Cuisine. This is, you'll click on that guide, and this is pretty cool for you. There's just lots of different stuff, but always at the top, here is the information so you know what's going on. First 2 weeks here in the Americas, Europe and Africa. Odd weeks, you're going to research, and here's the link to that slideshow or paper so you have a guide. And then there's the revised narrative that you're used to. If I click on that, here you go. You have both odd and even weeks. Oh, come on. I would be embarrassed if somebody got on this and erased it because it's mine. Week 1, odd week narrative. This is what we want from you. Week 2, even week. That's it. That's all we need from you. Cool? Go on down. I'm adding stuff. There's always lots of interesting things in here. Bug Eating Festival. Maybe you guys want to do a special focus on a special cuisine, like the influence of Africans on American cuisine. Absolutely fine by us, just you need to get approval. Either from Chef Sophia or from me. Iraqi Kurdish cuisine, Egyptian marinade. You are now entering the world where food becomes fun and play. So just get on there, look around. You guys will notice that you have to choose your country or region. Where to go? Right there. Hopefully you guys are getting on this no later than tonight. And notice what I give you. See, we got people who already have some stuff, I can tell. See, Chicago Midwest, Pacific Northwest. Hey, chef, somebody already is doing the Yucatan. Can I do the Yucatan too? Absolutely. Just because somebody's taking it doesn't mean you can't. It looks like we got a couple people on the Michoacan. So absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. And make sure if you're doing something other, reach out to either chef or me so that way we can give you that. But this is a wonderful example. You'll notice something up here, UNESCO Gastronomy Heritage. About a year and a half ago, the United States got our first UNESCO gastronomy site. Anybody have an idea where it is? It's absolutely fascinating. Tucson, Arizona. You want to go and study, go around and study UNESCO gastronomy sites? You could spend the next 6 weeks doing that. We had a student who requested to follow the Jews around the world.
That was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Another student let us choose 3 chefs for him.
Yep. How about Belize? Absolutely, Susan, you can do Belize. Absolutely. More than likely, guys, we're not going to say no. Here's our advice. Don't study something you already know. What's the point?
Something new. You'll be surprised of how much flavor you're gonna love.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chef. All right. So this class is broken up. Today is an exception, but this class is broken up to typically we will focus on what is due. The first 20 minutes of class, we focus on what is due next Tuesday. We will then spend time having discussions. Interesting discussions, challenging discussions, discussions that might make you angry. At the end of the day, this course might be about food, but it's really about people. Last 20 minutes, I'll give a quick, hey, remember, this is what you're doing for next week. We might have, that'll fluctuate as you guys get used to the pattern of it all. Remember, we have 2 classes. We have the one on Wednesday evening and then the next one on Friday mornings. And you will also notice you might have some videos to look at. They're helpful to watch. They're helpful to look at. Now, you guys will notice you only have 2 discussion forums. Week 1 cannot be researched. Week 1 is you telling me what you think. Get in there. What makes great food great? And tell me. I'm looking at it. I'll be responding. You have a conversion knowledge check every week. Then there's your assignment. In week 5 is your other discussion forum. And this is your opportunity to talk about your Cuisine of the World journey. You can put a link to your work and talk about what you've learned, show off your photos. This is the show and tell of the assignments. You will notice there is no culmination. Each week is broken up and worth the same. There is nothing special. There's no extra credit in this class except for the survey, which is at the very end. And there is a place right here for you guys to submit that photo that you took the survey. That's your only extra credit in this class. This class is so research heavy. I have found that what happens is that people take most of their time to get everything in. All right, Chef.
Be brave.
Advice.
Try something new. Any questions, concerns, remember you can always ask me. I love Cuisines of the World. This is my favorite class, and I love experimenting new things. So definitely, if you are wondering, like James just did, hey, I like tacos. Where can I do? If you like something like that, if you like cheese, let us know, and we'll tell you which country has amazing cheeses or things like that, okay? Any questions, let me know.
Outstanding. Thank you. Yes, Florine.
Okay, Chef, I'm trying to understand this. Okay, like week 1, week 2, what could you explain that one more time?
I'd be happy to. Odd weeks, week 1, week 3, week 5. That's all your research, the slideshow or Word document, right, that you put all together. Plus, you can do street food or breakfast. Remember, 2 to 4 plates. Week 2, 4, or 6, known as the even weeks, you are doing minimally a dinner with appropriate accompaniments plus a drink and a modified narrative with a modified production sheet, prep sheet. If you want to do more, we encourage you to do more. I find focusing on breads around the world fascinating. Did that answer your question, Florine? You're good? All right. Doreen asked a question. Can we work ahead with our assignments? Absolutely. Can we do the discussions ahead of time? No, I'm sorry. That's part of your attendance. So I can't open things up early. I know. I feel like I've taken all the air out of the room, Chef. Oh, there's so much to do. Guys, it's fun. It really is. Why do you guys think we're asking you to switch your gears ever so slightly and focus on research?
To learn more in different items, foods, ingredients.
Yep. Yeah. Introduce yourself to new ingredients and new flavor profiles. Love that. What else?
Well, learning about different cultures, Chef, is part about being a chef. Yeah, their cuisine, taking their techniques, build it into your own. Like I chose Alaska, part of the United States, but I've been there a couple times for a couple weeks here and there. You got the American culture, then you got the indigenous Alaskan culture, and the foods are combined. So that's going to interest me in how I'm going to present that to you. And it's real different because, you got true Americans that were born in Alaska with all their heritage, and you got the military aspect in there with people moving in and the Yukon and everything in that area that's going to present itself.
Love it. And also check out the Russian influence.
Yeah.
Yes, the Russian influence.
Yep.
I want to give you a little example of that. I am Mexican. I was born in Texas, raised in Mexico from a Spanish mother, a Greek father with a little bit of American in there. I studied classical French techniques, and then I went and worked in New Orleans in a Cajun German restaurant, and then I went to San Antonio and worked in an Italian restaurant, and then I came over here and worked in a Mexican restaurant. So you never know what restaurant you're going to end up, but you should have the basis of understanding the flavors. that I constitute. I was no expert in Italian cuisine, but I knew what flavors they work with. I knew they're Mediterranean. So you kind of go and play with those flavor profiles in your head. So they expect you as chefs to know at least the basis of flavors in different countries.
And I'm going to give you Chef Graham's story as well. Thank you, Chef Sophia. Chef Graham was working in a hotel in Arizona, a resort. Good job for him. And his boss walked up to him and said, "The Prime Minister of Japan is coming to eat. And this is what he wants. And we need it in 48 hours." And so in 48 hours, Chef Graham, who knew nothing about Japanese cuisine, had to present a full Japanese meal to the Prime Minister of Japan and make it look as authentic as he possibly could. So sometimes your job requires that you learn on the fly. All right. Doreen asked a great question. I just want to get it out here really fast. She wanted to confirm that there is a narrative for both weeks. Yes, there is a narrative and a modified prep sheet for both weeks. Cool. All right. We're almost done for this week. Well, for this day. We'll see you on Friday. I'm going to be talking about, let's see, I think I'm talking about food. I'm talking about food. I'm pretty sure I'm talking about food. Just can't remember what it's going to be. What do you guys, any questions, any concerns, any threats of violence? Happy to be here? Any thumbs up? All right, guys. We are so happy you guys are here. Chef, any last words before we let them play out?
Just reach out, guys. Just a little FYI, I take Saturdays off. Other than that, email me, text me, call me.
Yep. You know me, texts are better. All right. Can't wait to see what you guys do. Questions, bring them. Chef Sophia, thank you for a great class. Guys, thank you for a great class. Friday, we're going to start talking. Bye.